Pockets are absolutely about freedom. Have you ever thought about the history of pockets? We use them to put our phone, our keys, sometimes snacks. So pockets are something that we use every single day. But pockets were not always there. In fact, the history of pockets, it's wild. People used to wear small bags, and these ones were attached with a string or a ribbon like around their waist. In these little bags, they used to hold personal items, and this was very common in Europe around 1500. And then something very interesting happened. Men's clothes started to change. Men began wearing jackets, coats, pants, and more structured garments. So people who made clothes started sewing pockets inside of them. This was such a brilliant idea because, of course, men needed to carry their personal stuff with them. Women's fashion went in a very different direction. Dresses became tighter and more fitted. Smooth shapes were very popular, and pockets, they were considered as bulky and not pretty. So women kept using the old style pockets. Women literally carried their life in those little bags. And we still do the same thing, but now with pockets. Then came the late 1700s, early 1800s, and fashion changed again. Women's dresses became lighter and thinner, and there was no space to hide those pockets anymore, like the little bags. So what did women do? They were given something new, the handbag. Small purses called reticules became popular, and they were carried in the hand. And this is when pockets slowly disappear for women's clothing. And this is the part that makes people very angry. Pockets are absolutely about freedom. If you have pockets, you can carry your keys, your phone, your personal things. And when women lost pockets, they had to rely on someone else. Meanwhile, men kept their pockets, big ones and deep ones. Not fair, right? Fast forward to the 1900s, women started working more and they needed practical clothes. But even then, women's pockets were basically fake. They were sunshot, very small, or basically just a decoration. Sounds familiar? During World War I and World War II, they worked in factories and they needed pockets. So for a short time, pockets came back. But after the war, fashion returned to tight dresses and tiny pockets again. So literally, women had to fight for pockets. Around the late 1800s, women activists said, why do men have pockets and we don't? That's not fair. They wanted freedom to carry their own stuff. So pockets became more than just fabric. They became freedom, independence, and nowadays pockets are still a topic. That is also one of the things that makes us different at Svaha, because we really care about the pockets and them being functional, but also about the fit, about the aesthetic. And yes, that's why we love Svaha dresses, because the pockets are huge. So let me know in the comments, what are you carrying in your pockets?